Alright fellas, the time has come to install a subwoofer system in the back of the truck. So here's the design I came up with. Now this is actually in part for the seat, because once I lean the seat back, there's the seat, that's all the way it goes. I have plenty of room to install my speaker box in here. So I'm gonna make this thing 40 inches long. It should cover up a good portion of the back seat, and we're gonna have fun making it. Here's the kit we're going with. We're going with some power 12-inch subwoofers. We got 2 of them. We also picked up a Boss amp, and it even came with a little kit where you can install, you know, all your amp and shit. So I don't know how much of that I'll actually use. In case anyone's interested in specifications, here it is. I've built boxes before out of MDF, but this time we're going to use birch. And instead of going with 3/4 inch, we're going with 1/2 inch. I've been told that it works out relatively well, so here's going to be my trial. Hopefully I like it. Man, boy. Now that we've cut our 4 pieces, we even went ahead. We used our router with the flush trim bit and leveled everything out just so everything matched nice and straight, and even sanded it. We used just 2 screws and some clamps to hold it in place. And it's looking great. Now we're at the face plate. We decided to go 2 inches from the side, and we made our center punch here, which is just under 5.5 inches, and we also went ahead and divided it just so we could get everything straight and drew a nice little center line. We're going to use our Harbor Freight router using a straight bit and this little, you know, simple jig I made to get a circle done. Alright guys, here we are. Ended up extending this just a little bit and cutting notches in the amp plate for the wires to run through, and also spaced apart these holes 1 inch apart and drilled it out with a 7/8 Forstner bit for ventilation. So everything's set up here. I'm going to cinch it all together and put it back in the box. Everything's been glued and rough sanded into place. The amp and the speakers are just sitting there, obviously. This is what she looks like from here. I think it looks pretty good actually. Box might be bigger than it needs to be, but that's all right. The seat actually meets this up. Check this out. So this is about as far back as the seat leans anyways. And it is, hard to tell, barely touching. Which is nice either way, because, you know, this with this ring I have here in place that came with the speaker, you know, it should allow for enough space on the speaker anyway. So yeah, everything's been kind of sanded, all the screws, and been countersunk and filled in, which you can kind of like tell in certain areas. So now we get to take it all apart again and wire everything together. Wanted to give an update. It's kind of been a minute since I've actually worked on this thing, but what's changed here is this plate right here. Originally, when I kind of set this up and I even filmed it, the amp was recessed into this, which looked nice too, but my problem was setting it up fitment this way and you know, making adjustments to the amp. So I basically had the amp out, shoving it back in and out. So that was kind of annoying, so I figured if I make a faceplate like the one shown here, it's a very tight fit at the moment. The amp actually sticks out a little bit, and it's just up enough where I can lift the amp very slightly, make my adjustments. I got my wires kind of wired up right now here, and it looks good. You know, is it perfect? No, but I will make it the best looking as I can here soon. And here's kind of how it sits, you know. It don't look too bad. The other thing I changed too was the wiring. I used all these fittings and stuff that came with the little kit, you know, because I was like, eh, why not? It looks kind of cool. But what I didn't really like about the wire too, it's super thin, and I feel like I was having a problem too when I was trying to do a test run on it. It seemed like the speakers weren't getting enough juice. So I ditched the wire and I had a little bit of extra stuff. Doesn't seem that much thicker on camera, but it's a little better quality audio cable. So now that kind of everything's set in motion, I can reinstall this thing and I'll test bump it. Hopefully, if everything works out tonight, you'll hear me test bump it during the daylight. That way it looks good. So it's really hard to show how good a bass system is on YouTube. You're not here to see it, obviously. So we're gonna beat YouTube at their own game by playing some royalty-free music on my channel. So we're gonna turn it up some. Y'all kind of get the gist. It bangs.